In 2006, Gravity Group created one of the best roller coasters in the world when they made Voyage for Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana. This video is going to be a complete review and breakdown of the entire ride, and at the end we're going to talk especially about the night rides and the trimless rides that you get at Holiday World's annual coaster enthusiast event, Hollywood Nights, which takes this coaster from elite to ultra elite. Let's get into the complete analysis of this ride. You start by going up a 163-foot lift hill where they drop you 154 feet where you reach your top speed of 67 miles per hour.
Yeah, now this first drop is fun, but it's definitely not a very memorable part of the ride.
After the first drop, you then go over two large camelbacks.
Yeah, now if you're expecting something, like they're not quite as good as like El Toro has something similar with two giant camelbacks. And while they don't give the insane airtime that a ride like El Toro gives, it will still give some really good airtime.
After the second camelback, you're going to hit your first two tunnels of the ride, which are separated by some airtime, which actually gives you some good laterals as well.
Yeah.
And then the airtime keeps coming right before you hit your third tunnel, followed by a twisted airtime hill as you're entering the Spaghetti Bowl. Two quick-hitting small hills take you into a series of two 90-degree bank turns. These 90-degree bank turns by Gravity Group just hit a little bit differently, though.
A lot of rides have 90-degree bank turns, but something about these old like Gravity Group 90-degree bank turns on all their wooden coasters is just a little bit different than any other 90-degree bank turn, even on some like newer wooden coasters like Lightning Rod or Outlaw Run.
A quick twist to the left takes you toward the fourth tunnel of the ride, and we will point out that this is currently the part of the ride that is actually still a little bit rough, and will give you a jolt if you're not bracing and prepared for it.
And this is where you pop up into the mid-course brake run. Now, this would be the end of most coasters, but this ride has 6,442 feet of never-ending track. So this is one of the longest wooden roller coasters, or just one of the longest roller coasters in the entire world.
The second half of the ride enters your fifth tunnel, where you reach the infamous triple down, where the first two drops give you some nice little pops of airtime, but that third one, it feels like the bottom just drops out, and you don't reach the seat again for like, it feels like seconds before you actually hit the seat once again.
No, there's a lot of double downs on roller coasters, but there's not a lot of triple downs. So if you don't know that that's there, it can catch you really off guard because it's something that very few coasters have.
After the triple down, you come out of the tunnel and you're in between the track of the rest of the Voyage layout and Thunderbird, so you're really tight in there.
Yeah,
and it just looks really cool.
Yeah, you're just going underneath like the first part of the ride, and it's basically just airtime hill, some turns, airtime hill, some bank turns, and it's just a ton of fun. It is absolutely insane. After those quick hitting turns and airtime, you make your way into your third and final 90-degree bank turn. So after that, you're going to go over a twisted airtime hill, which is going to give you some crazy airtime, and then you're going to go back into the station area, but this ride is still not over.
Not yet.
A couple more twisted airtime hills and bank turns lead you into your sixth and final tunnel as you fly under the pathway and then up into a sharp right-hand turn that goes up and into the final brake run, and now you can finally breathe, because you just rode one of the craziest roller coasters in the entire world.
The experience of this ride just during the day with the trims on is one thing. The ride is great. If it's running fast, it's going to be a great ride no matter what.
Absolutely.
But they do something extra special for Hollywood Nights, their special event every single year, where they turn off the trim so you don't get slowed down at all before the second half, before that triple down in the tunnel that we talked about.
Yeah, normally during that mid-course brake run, you will come to a pretty close to a complete stop. Like, you will slow down quite a bit. But during Hollywood Nights, they turn those off and you just fly right through.
So all that twisted airtime hill and that triple down that we talked about, those are all great during the day and all that, and whenever the trims are on, but it is insanely more intense and crazy whenever you can't see what's going on because it's pitch dark, and you fly through and you're like moving like way faster than you ever would have during any of those elements.
Like the triple down right after the mid-course, it is in complete darkness, and since that is right after the mid-course, you are going so fast So that final down that we said that gives some like insane airtime is just even better. Like it is absolutely insane.
It can actually kind of hurt whenever you like finally land, because the train drops out from under you and you're staying like up here as the train drops. And by the time you finally land, it can kind of like give you a little jolt as you like finally catch up with the seat.
You will slam down in the seat. It is ridiculous.
Now, roller coasters in general tend to be more fun at night. One of the big reasons is because you don't have that depth perception, and you can't really see and subconsciously brace for what's coming. If you look and see like a big hill coming or a drop or anything like that, your body will kind of like brace and kind of do something in order to prepare itself, even though you're not really thinking like, okay, I got to brace myself for this. But whenever you ride something at night and all of a sudden you have a drop, you are completely not expecting that. So your body is just caught off guard. And the drop, instead of being like pretty good, all of a sudden becomes like insane.
Yeah, now this whole ride, it feels like a voyage. Like, it will take so much out of you, whether it's in the day and especially at night. Like, I've been to Halloween Nights 4 times now, and I've visited Holiday World, like, I think a total of 5 or 6 times. But still, every single time I ride Voyage, it's still, like, shocking how ridiculous and insane that ride is. Like, you actually need a break in between, you'll take a couple rides, and you'll need a little bit of a break, which you cannot say about many roller coasters, at least for me.
And I found myself, not this past year, but the year previous that we were at Halloween Nights, I found myself that I wasn't even like really breathing during the ride. I was like almost like holding my breath because like the ride was so intense and so crazy. I would like hit the brake run and I would like kind of start breathing and I'm like, oh my God, my head kind of hurts.
Yeah.
It's because I wasn't breathing, and I had to actually consciously think during the ride. I had to think like I was like breathing. I had to like, whenever those old 80s exercise videos where they're like, don't forget to breathe. That was me during the ride. I'm like, I'm actually like breathing during this ride because it is so crazy.
Like, you will actually be out of breath at the end of this. Like, you just ran across that entire track and back, which, like, what other roller coaster can you say that for?
So I think bottom line, it's safe to say that we highly recommend getting down to Holiday World and riding this roller coaster. And especially if you can get tickets to the very sought after event of Halloween Nights, we highly suggest you checking that out, because that will be a completely different experience for you altogether.
And nobody will be shocked if you have this as your number one coaster altogether, because it very well could be my favorite coaster. And you've even thought about that too. Like, is this my favorite coaster that I've ever ridden?
Yeah, Voyage at night, I think, is my favorite. Like, but it's specifically just at night and trimless. It's my favorite. The overall coaster itself isn't quite there, but that whole experience itself is probably my favorite roller coaster experience that I can have. So I hope you found that review helpful, entertaining, whatever. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, comment down below. Any sort of comment helps, because every like and comment helps against the YouTube algorithm and pushes this video and our channel out to as many people as possible. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to this channel. We do all sorts of roller coaster content like this and vlogs and stuff like that. So if that's what you enjoy, definitely think that you would like subscribing to this channel. Also like to take a second to remind you that we do have a channel membership page. All these people are channel members. They help us out so much, and in return, we give them things like exclusive videos, shout outs like what you see on the screen, and pictures, stuff like that. And it helps us keep doing trips and videos like this so much. So thank you to all our channel members.
Absolutely.
So that is it for this coaster review. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time right here on Beach Cliff Studios. See ya.